Today we are breaking away from the standard outdoor logic. Most people buy a $600 jacket and wonder why they're still freezing. The answer isn't in your outer shell. It's in the mechanics underneath. Working in high-performance sports gave me a deep understanding of how materials are engineered for peak athletic performance. Those same laws of thermoregulation apply here in the bush. We aren't looking at individual garments, we're looking at a system that succeeds or fails based on moisture management and trapped air. This is my Amber and Steel winter clothing system. Everything starts at the skin, and one rule overrides everything: never cotton. Cotton absorbs moisture, holds it against your body, and insulates nothing when wet. In winter, that combination is dangerous. Your base layer has one job: move sweat away before it cools. I use the Nike Dry Fit long sleeve. It wicks fast via capillary action and dries quickly when you're working hard. Merino is also a good alternative for lower output moments. I run the Dry Fit when I'm active, Merino when I'm not. Match the material to your output, not the temperature. Layer 2 is your insulation. This is where we combine tradition with technology. First up, the wool sweater. Wool has a long fiber structure that traps air and retains insulating properties even when some moisture is present. Unlike fleece, which offers little wind resistance, a compact wool mid-layer provides a stable thermal buffer. It breathes and it works. Next up, the Patagonia Nano Puff. Here we make a conscious choice for PrimaLoft. Why not down, you might ask? In a winter camp, condensation and unexpected moisture are constant variables. Standard down loses the majority of its insulating value when wet. The loft collapses. PrimaLoft retains approximately 94 to 96% of its warmth when wet. Everything underneath collapses without a proper shell. Wind strips heat in seconds, and rain saturates insulation. For bad weather, I run the Patagonia Torrentshell 3L. 20,000 mm waterproofness, fully seam sealed, and breathable HDNO membrane. Rain out and wind out. Moisture vapor out. It has pit zips to dump heat when you're working hard. So shell on when the weather turns. Your thermal layer stays completely effective underneath. If you find this system and video useful, please subscribe for more gear content every week. Legs are your engine, and they need the same layering logic as your upper body. First, the inner layer. These are some wool leggings. Same principle as the base layer on top. Wool manages moisture, insulates even when damp, and keeps your legs warm during lower output moments in camp. Against the skin, wool is very comfortable and hard to beat in cold conditions. The outer layer are the Fjällräven Keb Agile. These are made of G1000 light stretch and are reinforced on the knees and high wear zones. They're very stretchy and super comfortable to wear. This combination gives you maximum mobility, full range of motion for scrambling around, kneeling by the fire, or building your camp. The G1000 panels handle abrasion and light precipitation well, but apply some Greenland wax to the G1000 areas for winter use and water beads straight off. For socks, I always go wool. This manages moisture better than any synthetic alternative, and it retains insulation when damp. For me, wool socks are a non-negotiable and the best option. Wet, cold feet don't just affect your feet. They drain your core temperature and kill your morale. The Meindl Island GTX, full Gore-Tex waterproofing, so water doesn't get in. They're warm and they're stiff enough for rough terrain. And precise fit that prevents foot movement inside the boot. Foot movement means friction. Friction means heat loss and blisters. Pair them with wool socks and your feet are covered. First up, we have some Hestra leather gloves. Your hands are constantly exposed, building fires, handling gear, tensioning the shelter. Synthetic gloves are vulnerable near open flames. Leather is naturally heat resistant, windproof, and with proper conditioning will outlast everything else in your kit. Treat them well and they will be a lifetime tool. Next, we have a buff. Your neck and head lose heat faster than almost anywhere else on your body. A buff costs almost nothing and gives you instant temperature control. Put it up when you stop moving, drop it when you heat up. It's the most used item in my kit on cold days. Don't overlook it. Finally, some camp slippers. This one gets skipped easily, and it shouldn't. After hours in cold, damp boots, your feet need time to recover. Cold feet suppress circulation in the rest of your body. You feel it in your core. Insulated camp slippers, inside the tent or around the fire, are not just comfort gear, they're part of the system. So that's the complete system. It starts with a synthetic base that keeps sweat off your skin when you're working hard. A wool mid-layer and PrimaLoft jacket that hold the heat when you stop. A breathable shell that locks out wind and rain without trapping moisture. Some wool leggings and the Keb Agile that keep your legs warm and moving freely. Meindl GTX boots that keep your feet dry all day. And then the small things. Some leather gloves that won't melt near a fire, a buff to keep your neck warm, and camp slippers that let your feet recover when the day is done. None of these items work alone, but together they handle everything winter throws at you. One last thing. None of this gear replaces good judgment. Always check the weather forecast before you go out. Tell someone where you're headed and know when conditions are beyond your gear. Stay safe out there. So, what's your go-to piece of winter gear? The one item you never leave behind? Let me know below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.